All right, everybody. So we'll do our official start now. Breath movement, expansion, kind of flow. Just take it wherever you are. None of this has to be perfect, right? Just we're going to move, we're going to breathe. If you would like to follow along with my Spotify playlist, it's Fade Into You. And you'll see I have a couple of blocks here. You're probably going to use them today in today's practice. So if you don't have blocks, you can always grab something that you can use like blocks. So books or something like that. But ideally, they're going to be the same size, same shape, so that you're even and level. So when you're ready, you can cue up the music if you are going to do that. And then let's start off in a supported hero's pose. So there are a couple of ways you can do this. You could take your block, you could slide it in between your heels, and then you're going to sit back onto your heels or your block. If you don't have a block, you can just bring your knees, your inner thighs together and sit down on your heels, right? You're just trying to find a way to begin to warm the tops of your thighs, your quadriceps, without going too deep, too fast, so that you don't feel any tension on the ligaments, on the tendons around your kneecap. And then give yourself a second. Take your peace fingers and roll them towards the knots on the fronts of your shoulders so that they draw back, and you're going to feel your shoulder blades pin down to your upper back. And in this space, your chin is neutral, and pull the pit of your belly ever so slightly inward so that you begin to feel supported, right? And then even in these practices that are somewhat, it's gentle-ish, right? It's still a flow, it's still movement, but working your bandhas. So you have energy locks within your body, and the bottom one is Mula Bandha. So you squeeze at the base of your pubic bone. You draw the energy inward and upward. And so it feels like you're lightly engaging through your pelvic floor. And then as you exhale, there's one that's Uddiyana Bandha. It's a little bit more challenging to do in an upright position because you're pulling all the energy inward and upward. It's upward facing, upward moving energy, and it draws everything in and up. It's a lot easier to approach from an inverted place because your organs would naturally begin to draw up and towards your rib cage. So once you're there, take your right palm to the low belly, take your left hand to your heart. Close down your eyes if that feels good to you. So you know I've been practicing, if you've been practicing with me the last few weeks, really working at getting comfortable, putting your hands on yourself, laying your hands on your body. Your own touch is the most healing, right? And so many times we are unaccustomed to touching ourselves. We don't put our hands on our own bodies, and it's okay, right? Feel your strong, capable, beautiful physical body underneath your hands and start to tune into your breath. So you start off, it's just the natural inhale and exhale that occur in your body. But eventually you begin to move into this rhythmic like breathing so that the inhale and the exhale match both in duration and intensity. So for some of us, that becomes Samavriti Pranayam, which is your even breath. For some, it will be Ujjayi Pranayam, your Ujjayi breath. So becomes oceanic-like in nature. It's audible to you. In both cases, the inhale and the exhale match both in duration and intensity, but with Ujjayi breath, you begin to drag that breath through the back of a slightly constricted throat. Some people call it Darth Vader breath. And as you inhale through your nose, you let the breath travel all the way up. It will rise. And then you exhale through your nose, emptying out. And as you get to the bottom, you pull your navel in and up towards your spine. Inhale through your nose. And exhale. Now just breathe at your own pace. Now, if you have anything going on with your neck today, you're going to just keep your gaze forward. And you might turn your face side to side and feel the scalenes, feel the sides of your necks begin to warm and stretch. Go ahead and let your hands come down either to your lap or to your side body, but continue that same lifting through your spine, through your chest. If you have anything like bulging or degenerative discs, you're also just going to leave your face kind of forward and just move your face side to side. If everything else is all right, I want you to tuck your chin towards the jugular notch, but keep the knots on the fronts of your shoulders rolling back and your blades pinned down to your upper back. And then inhale here. And on the exhale, roll your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then you inhale to bring your chin down. Exhale, take your left ear to your left shoulder, breathing deeply as you move. You're just going to go side to side. Breathing into the back of your neck as your chin tucks down. Breathing into the sides of your neck as you move from one collarbone to the other. And then eventually you tuck your chin down towards your chest. And then you're going to inhale, just lift the crown of your head, lift your chin. And exhale to just stay as you are. All right, when you're ready, come forward, remove the block out from underneath you, slide it over to the side. And then press your palms into the ground. Sit your hips back towards your heels. Your toes are tucked underneath you. And then you might have to pull your pinky toe out from underneath the fourth toe. It has a tendency to kind of get stuck under there. And then I want you to walk your hands back and lift your knees if it feels all right. And then you might bring your shoulders up over your hips. If you've got blocks, they can be on either side of your legs. Roll your shoulders back and down. Pull the pit of your belly in and up, breathing here. Take one more inhale. And on the exhale, bring your hands back down. Walk yourself back forward. Let's find all four. So box pose. Stack your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists, and bring your knees underneath your hips. Now with your inhale, drape a soft belly down towards the ground. Lift your chin, lift your tail. And then on the exhale, reverse the movement. Dome out your upper back, let your head hang, navel to your spine. And then inhale, belly down, take a sway to your low back, press your heart forward between your upper arm bones. And then exhale, dome it out, tuck your chin, navel to your spine. And then take several more rounds, cat and cow, moving at your own pace. But as you move, if you feel like moving out of this kind of like vertical plane, you start to sway the body around. Your hips can come forward, hips over to the side, bring them back towards your heels. And then you just rotate around, circular movement, finding something that works with you, something that resonates within your physical and subtle bodies, and noticing kind of the shifts that take place. And if anything feels sticky, right? And then you just continue in the opposite direction. Watching the elbows might hyperextend, so you got to be careful. And then when you're ready, come back into your neutral spine. So take a moment. So you're in your box pose, you're stacking your joints. And then I want you to take your right palm and draw it to the space between your navel and your pubic bone. Feel how when you press your palm into your flesh here, you pull the pit of your belly in, you feel supported, right? So then the idea here is that you feel the heat cultivate beneath your palm, right? All of that space between your navel and your pubic bone. Feel the connection deepen. Also feel your core strengthen. and the support that it provides to your low back, right? So it's all of these things. And then bring your right hand back down to the ground. Stack your joints. Now from that space of support and connection, on the inhale, lift your right leg up and back, point your right pinky toe down. Pull the pit of your belly in, take an inhale. On the exhale, bend your right knee, take the sole of your foot towards the sky. So ideally, internal rotation of your right thigh bone. And then I want you to press your foot up just a little bit higher until you feel like a catch in your hamstring, or you feel maybe even a little cramp, right? It's all good, y'all. It's all good. And then on your inhale, press your right foot back. I want you to really feel your entire leg engage. And then exhale, step your right foot to your right thumb. And you're gonna lift your left knee slightly and slide it back. Now your hands can be on your blocks on either side of your right foot. Allow for your shoulders to roll back and down. And with your inhale, let your pelvis press forward and down, and then reach your arms up overhead. Stay for the exhale. And then you're gently drawing the inner thighs towards one another without them actually touching, obviously. But on your inhale, lift your chest. And then on the exhale, take your elbows back and down so you open through the front of your shoulders, through your chest. And then the legs stay the same. But on your inhale, use your core. Fingertips brush down towards the ground. Reach your arms forward and up. And exhale, elbows back and down, open. Now on your next inhale, reach your arms to the sky. And on the exhale, frame your front foot with your hands. Your left hand is going to stay down, but inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Stack your shoulders, stack your clavicles. Traditional drishti would follow your right thumb. On your exhale, reach your right fingertips towards the back of your mat, opening up. Breathe. Now, I don't want you to worry about the hand to foot bind, but I do want you to lift your left heel. Dig it towards your glute. And then feel the front of your left hip, your left psoas, your quadricep. Stretch. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, let your left toes come down to the ground. Your right hand comes back up and over to frame your front foot. On the inhale, let your pelvis soften down and forward. And then exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana, half split, straighten through your right leg. Walk your hands back. And then you're going to flex your toes back towards your shin. Feel the opening through your right hamstring, but you want to feel this ideally in the belly of your muscle. So that being said, if you feel this around your right knee or around the gluteal fold, which is where your glute and your hamstring connect, then I want you to take a deep bend to your right knee. Breathe here. Awesome. Now on your next inhale, walk yourself forward, curl up your back toes, lift your back knee. On the exhale, step back into a high plank and hold. You're more than welcome to bring your knees down to the ground, but pull the pit of your belly up. And then you're rounding through your upper back without completely doming it out, right? Now this first round, everybody, inhale, knees down to the ground. Exhale, stick your bottom up. Drop your chest down in between your thumbs, your chin in front of your fingertips, your gaze is forward. You're like a little inchworm. Breathe. And then inhale, slide your belly, your pubic bone, your toenails to the ground. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. And then exhale, take your hips towards your heels. Forehead down and breathe. Inhale, press it back up into all fours. And exhale, navel to your spine. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Same thing, I want you to stay for a moment. Get used to touching yourself. Right palm, right here between your navel and your pubic bone. Notice how it's different now that the left leg is lifted. Spin your left pinky toe down. Firm up your left leg. None of this has to be perfect, but I want you to get intimate with yourself, right? That's the whole point. So do that. Don't be scared of you, right? You know the way. So inhale here, right hand's gonna come back down. On your exhale, bend your left knee in half, like you're trying to serve a platter to the ceiling. Spin your humerus, your thigh bone internally in the hip socket, very gently so that your left sole really presses up towards the sky. You're going to feel this catch in the left glute, the left hamstring, but you're still drawing navel to spine. Lift it until you find a level of discomfort that you can handle. And then inhale, kick your left foot back. Feel it all engage. Exhale, step your left foot all the way through. Lift your right knee, slide it back. Energetic pull between your inner thighs. Inhale, shoulders over hips, arms up overhead. You move gracefully when you make time for a pause, right? That's where my work is. I will be very honest. I do not pause. I make a decision, I act, I pull. Here we are. So I'm trying to slow myself down as I guide you through slowing yourself down. Let your pelvis draw forward and down. On your inhale, your fingertips reach higher. And then exhale, elbows back and down. Think of your elbows moving towards your kidneys, towards your back floating ribs. And then your legs stay the same. This is about your core. Inhale, touch the ground with your hands. Reach your arms forward and up. Exhale, elbows back and down. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, frame your front foot with your hands. Your right hand is going to stay down, but inhale, lift your left arm to the sky. Awesome, y'all. On the exhale, reach your left fingertips back. Watch your left knee, watch your right elbow. Now, no hand to foot bind yet, but if you're into it, lift your right heel, dig it towards your right glute. Breathe. On your next inhale, let your left hand reach back to the sky, right toes to the earth. Exhale, frame your front foot with your hand. Feel the low lunge first, and then shift your hips back. Lengthen through your left leg. Now, the more the navel spins towards your left thigh bone, the hips are going to naturally square and level off. Breathe deeply into the belly of your hamstring. Nothing else matters. On your next inhale, walk yourself forward. Curl up your back toes. Lift your back knee. Exhale to your high plank and hold. Option for Ashtangasana like we did at the very beginning, your knees, chest, chin. I don't typically teach Chaturanga on Fridays, but here we are, so whatever, right? If you want to do it, you're going to inhale, shift forward. You move your body like a unit. Bend your elbows. Pull the pit of your belly in and up. Lead with your heart, your throat, your chin. Come halfway down. Inhale, pull your heart through to lift it. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back to an inverted letter V. Now, since I had that nose surgery, I can't dump my head down completely, so I'm talking you through it. Cannot model all the things this week or next, but I can tell you about them. So with your feet about hip width distance apart, unless that feels like trash in your body, in which case you won't do it. You'll fix and do something else. Hands might be about shoulder width distance apart. You're still spreading your fingers out as you press down into the webbing between your thumb and your forefinger. Release the tension that can radiate up the inside of your arms towards the sides of your neck and your traps, right? Let it feel good. Now on your inhale, it's a very soft bend to your knees, just enough so that you can lift your heels and gaze forward. And then exhale as many steps as you want, feet to your hands at the top of your mat. Your feet can be about hip width distance apart. And then inhale, slide your fingertips to your shins. Take the crown of your head forward, your tailbone back. I want you to stay right here for a second as you exhale. Bring your right palm towards the low belly. So we've been doing this all class, right? Feel that out. Notice how when you take your palm to that place, it instinctively draws in and up, right? Well, at least it does for me. So maybe whenever you touch it, it instinctively is like, oh, I can let go. My hand is here and I can rest now. I want you to try to place your palm there and find some compassion, right? So we hold a lot of emotions, fears, creativity, all these kinds of things here in the pit of the belly. So can you feel that connection? Know that you've got you. Squeeze at the base of your pubic bone. So you're still lifting through your pelvic floor. You're extending through your spine. Take a breath in. And then exhale, let it go. Bend your knees, take your chest to your thighs, let your head hang down. Ragdoll, grab opposite elbows if that's your thing. I'm going to drop into Malasana just because I can't drop my head down. So you do you. You're here for about 3 more breaths. If you're in your forward fold, your ragdoll, there's a deep bend to the knees so that your rib cage connects with your thighs, allowing for the posterior chain to completely release out, right? So there's no tension in the backside of your body. If you're feeling like the low back is pulling or the hamstrings are pulling or it's tight, the deeper the bend in the knees, right? I literally don't care what this looks like. It's all about what it feels like. And that honestly should be your whole life. Doesn't matter what it looks like. And I'm as vain as the rest of them, y'all. So, I mean, don't even. But I hope y'all all know that as I'm teaching you, I'm teaching myself, right? This is the dharma of a yoga teacher. If I'm saying it to you, it's because I'm repeating it to me. So when you're ready, let your hands come down to the ground. Inhale, lift your hips. Well, you guys are already forward folding. I was malasanaing because of my nose. On your inhale, I want you to roll up nice and slow. Take your time. Your shoulders are going to roll back and down. Pull the pit of your belly in once more. Root your feet down to the earth. And then Tadasana, right? Pin your blades to your upper back, navel in and up towards your spine. And then inhale, reach your arms out and up. On the exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. I'm going to heel toe my feet together because it's my preference. You can leave yours hip width distance apart if you choose. Inhale, stick your bottom back and down. Bend your knees, reach your arms up. On the exhale, navel in and up towards your spine. So Utkatasana, chair pose, also called lightning bolt, right? So imagine creating a lightning bolt with your body. Stick your bottom back and down. Arms can reach up. If you feel the space in your traps and in your shoulders, you can seal the palms. I'm going to sit down a little bit deeper today. And then if it feels all right, you look up. Pull the pit of your belly in, breathe. Take an inhale. On the exhale, left arm reaches forward, right arm reaches back. So it's an open arm twist, but you got to watch your right hip. If it pulls back, you firm up your right side obliques and pull your right hip forward. Inhale, both arms to the sky. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Breathe. And then you inhale, come right back front and center. Exhale, straighten your legs, take your elbows back and down, open your chest. Inhale, Baddha Hasta, bind up your hands at the base of your spine, interlace your fingers, puff up your chest. On the exhale, forward fold, hinge at your hips. Drape it down. Y'all already know I'm going to stay right here because I can't dump my head down, but we're going to kick it and it's all good. Take a deep breath. And exhale. All right, y'all. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step your feet back. All right, y'all. So you're in your high plank. I want you to inhale, stay right here. On the exhale, lift your hips up and back. Now, inhale, roll to the balls of your feet. Exhale, spin your heels to the right, your toes to the left, and then press your palms down. If you're not into this, skip it. You can come into a child's pose. If you are, sit your hips back towards your heels. Gaze forward. Inhale, lift, press through your high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels, turn them to the left, toes to the right. Exhale, hips to your heels. Inhale, roll through your high plank. Exhale, hips up and back. Inhale, roll to the balls of your feet. Exhale, heels to the right, toes to the left. Bend your knees, sit it down. Inhale to high plank. Exhale, lift your hips up and back. Inhale, last round, roll to the balls of your feet. Exhale, heels to the left, toes to the right. Sit your hips back. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward into high plank. Exhale, knees down, hips to your heels. Balasana, child's pose. Breathe it out. You're more than welcome to just be still. If you prefer some level of movement, you could roll your forehead side to side. But in this whole spirit of finding intimacy within ourselves, right? Being intimate first with you, because that's the solution. It's the answer. We cannot fix anything else until this within us is healed, repaired, all of that. And y'all, I've thought that my whole life, thinking that I could do all the things externally without always doing the internal work. Some would say it's because I'm a Leo. I don't know. I say it's because I'm human. So if you need to roll your forehead a little bit longer, do so. If you're ready to move with me, inhale, press back up into your box pose, curl up your toes. Moving from this intuitive space between your navel and your pubic bone, it will not guide you wrong. Exhale, lift your hips up and back. Inhale, soft bend to your knees so that you can gaze forward. Exhale, step your feet to the top of your mat. As many or as few steps feel good. Inhale, lengthen your spine, tailbone back, crown forward, long neck. Exhale, bring your hands down. Step your left foot to the back of your mat. Inhale, before you just pop up, get yourself right? Squeeze your inner thighs towards one another, even though they're not actually touching. Build the foundation so that as you erect everything else on top of it, there is stability. So from here, taking this pause, squeeze at the base of your pubic bone, press the big toe ball mound of your right foot down, and lift your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. And then float your arms out and up. Inhale right here, get long. On the exhale, your right hand comes to the right hip. Take your left arm up and over so you get this stretch through the left side body. If it feels awkward, play around with the tuck of the tail. It's not going to be super deep one way or the other. But if you need to neutralize out and lengthen your tailbone, it might feel like a baby tuck of your pubic bone, right? And then inhale, reach both arms up. This is a little bit more of an awkward opening. Left hand to your left hip. Just reach your right arm up and over. You might not go as deep simply because you're bending over into an open space, whereas before you were taking your side bend into a more supported area by having the right leg forward. And then inhale, both arms to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands down to the ground. Inhale, press your palms. Lift your right leg up and back for three-leg dog. And then exhale, right knee to your left tricep. You can also skip this. So I know some of you want something a little bit more gentle. Be gentle. Inhale, right leg rises. One of my teachers always says, if it's hard, it's hard. If it's easy, it's easy. You choose. Twist it over. You've got one more. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee to the left tricep. And then inhale, your right leg moves up to the sky, nice and slow. Exhale, step yourself all the way forward. Now from here, inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. We've been here before, but your back knee was down. So feel it out and know that you can bring your back knee down. Take an inhale. Exhale, elbows back and down, open up. Pull the pit of your belly in. So this is about your core, about your legs. If you can make contact with the fingers to the ground, that's my invitation. Inhale, hands down, reach them forward and up. Exhale, open up through your chest. Beautifully done. Stay for your inhale. Exhale, Baddha Hasta, interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. On the inhale, puff up your chest. Now I'm going to tell you how I do this. That doesn't mean that you have to do it this way. Moving into warrior three, I press down through the big toe ball mound of my right foot. I like to hinge forward first. Feel my forearms on the low back And then as I'm ready, I drag the left toes, straighten the right leg, lift the left, and hinge. Gaze down at the top of your mat. It's okay if you're wobbling, y'all, right? It's all good. Take one more inhale. Exhale with control, foot to foot. Left foot meets the right. Release your hands. Inhale, bend your knees. Fingertips might touch the ground. Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, open arm twist. Left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale, rotate front and center. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Watch your left hip. Feel your obliques. Inhale, rotate to the front. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, high plank. You have the option to skip it all together. Ashtangasana, knees down. If you want your chaturanga, moving with precision, with integrity, with self-love, right? You inhale, shift it forward, navel to your spine. Exhale, lead with your heart, your throat, your chin, come halfway. Inhale, pull your heart through to lift it. And then exhale, downward facing dog, and breathe. Taking your time. Soft bend to your knees as you inhale. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, bring your hands down. Step your right foot to the back. And then stay on the ball of your right foot. Squeeze your inner thighs towards one another. Create your foundation, your base. And then you inhale, shoulders over your hips, arms up over your head. As you get fatigued, it gets shakier. It's all right. Stay right here. Now inhale, reach your fingertips higher. Exhale, your left hand comes to your left hip. Reach your right arm up and over. Feel the side body stretch in the right side. And then you inhale, both arms reach. Awkward transition here a little bit, right? So you got to firm up everything. Feel your stabilizing muscles. Your right hand finds your right hip. Your left arm reaches up and over. Breathe. On your inhale, take both arms back to the sky. Exhale, frame your front foot with your hands. Moving slowly, inhale, left leg up to the sky, three-leg dog. Remember, I'm not putting my head down simply because of my nose surgery, but your head would be hanging down. Take an inhale. You can skip this all together, or you exhale, cross it over, left knee to right tricep. Inhale, three-leg dog. Exhale, knee to the right tricep. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, step your left foot all the way through. Stay on the ball mound of your right foot. Feel this out again. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, reach your fingertips higher. Exhale, take your elbows back and down. Inhale, fingertips touch the ground and reach forward. Exhale, elbows back and down. Inhale, Baddha Hasta, bind up your hands. Roll the knots on the fronts of your shoulders back. Open up through your chest, your clavicles. Hinge at your left hip if you like that. I'm going to drag my right toes, straighten my left leg, and then hinge. You can also have a baby bend to your left knee. Breathe. Take one more inhale. Foot to foot as you exhale, nice and slow. Release your hands. Inhale, bend your knees. Chair pose. Sit your hips back and down. Reach your arms high. This time, exhale, deep twist to the right, or you can stay lifted. But if you're going deep, left elbow to the outside of your right near thigh. Breathe. Watch your left knee. And then you inhale, rotate back front and center. Your knees are still bent. I know, y'all. Exhale, twist to the left. Palms seal. Rotating at your upper middle thoracic spine. Watch your right knee. Breathe. Now inhale, rotate front and center, stand up tall. And exhale, elbows back and down. Nicely done, y'all. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, hinge your hips to forward fold. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, step your feet back. Option 2, do any transition that feels good to you, or bring your knees down, hips to your heels. I'm going to go wide on my child's pose. Big toes to touch, knees out to the side edges of the mat, hips back towards the heels. Walk your arms forward. Now, theoretically, your forehead's going to be down. It doesn't feel great on my nose, so I'm going to take my chin to the ground. But that's pretty intense for your cervical spine, so it's not what I would recommend. I'm just modifying until all of this kind of stuff is done with my nose. All right, y'all. Inhale, press up into your box pose. Take any movements you need. As you exhale, if you need to sway around. And then let's kind of stretch it out from here. Yeah. On your inhale, lift your right leg up and back. And then as you exhale, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. And then you're going to lift your left knee and slide it back. So you're in a low lizard. We're looking to catch a diagonal on the left hip, thigh, knee. Now, if you'd like, you can turn your right toes out. You can roll to the outer edge of your right foot. You can come down to your forearms. So some of you, and this is the only downside to the live streaming and the YouTube video, is that I can't see you, right? So I don't know where you're at. And what I really want to drive home here is that A, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And B, you got to feel out where you are in your body today. So some of you might come down to the forearms. Some of you might come down to your belly, right? And so I don't want you to move into that space though, unless you're already yeah, I mean, I could go deeper, right? Or I feel like my body needs to go deeper. If you're up here and you're like, dang, this is a lot, that's where you stay, right? Because it's perfect. If you're up here and you're like, I need to do more, you come down. If you're down and you're like, I need to do more, then you come all the way to your belly, right? But you breathe the whole time. So even as you go a little bit deeper, it wouldn't impede your breath in any way, shape, or form, right? You would still be right here. And you would still be able to breathe deeply and evenly, because that's where it's at, right? Now, when you're ready, coming back up, walk your hands underneath your shoulders. I'm going to heel toe my right foot back in, not all the way to the center, but right toes are pointing forward, right knee is pointing forward. And then you reach your right hand back like we did earlier. And this time, perhaps you catch the left foot. I don't care if you do or not, just giving you that option. Now, if it happens, I have to kind of curl my right fingers, my right palm over the left toes, working your upper thoracic spine here. On the inhale, you kick your left foot into your right hand and you look back. So you're going to feel a stretch on the left side of your neck, your left pec, because you're really kicking back, and also on your right shoulder. On the exhale, you contract, pull your heel in towards your glute, and tap your right shoulder to your right knee. So you're facing back forward. You inhale to kick, to open, to rotate. And then you exhale, bend, draw it in, Take your right knee to your right, your right shoulder to your right knee. One more time. Inhale, kick into your hand, gaze back, and then exhale, rotate your right knee to your right. I keep saying your right knee, your right shoulder to your right knee. Just like that. Now, when you let go, it's not a catapult. It's very soft and slow. And then your right hand frames your right foot. And then you just heel toe your right foot all the way over into your half pigeon. So you extend your left leg long, flex into your right foot. You can also take this on your back and cross your right ankle over your left knee. On your inhale, you pull your heart forward. And then exhale to come down. Breathe. As you breathe in, you know you're breathing in. And as you breathe out, you know you're breathing out. It's all perfect. It's all good. All right, y'all. Just for the sake of time, on the hands, walk it back. Curl up your left toes, lift your left knee. You're going to really press your palms down, float your right leg up and back, bend your right knee, stack your hip, open it up. And then let your right foot come down, come back down onto hands and knees. Inhale, extend your left leg behind you. Exhale, step your left foot outside of your left hand. Your right knee is down, and you breathe. You're just here to start. And then when you're ready, perhaps your left toes turn slightly out, like 10 or 11 o'clock. You can roll to the outer edge of your left foot. You can come down to your forearms. But feel it out and breathe. The only reason you go deeper is because you need more. If you don't need more, you stay where you are, leaving a little bit for your next practice. Yeah? If you took the variation on the first side to come all the way down to the belly, you're going to go slowly first. And breathe. If you took that deeper variation, you come out the same way you came in, slow, controlled, and with integrity. And then both of your hands come underneath their respective shoulders. Turn your left toes back to 12 o'clock. Your right hand stays rooted, and your left arm reaches up to the sky. On the exhale, reach your left hand back. And perhaps you lift your right heel, catch your foot, and you're right here. Watching your left knee, watch your right shoulder, right elbow. Now I take my left hand and I curl it over my right toes. On the inhale, you kick into your left hand, gaze towards the back of your mat. On the exhale, you bend your left elbow, rotate your left shoulder towards your left knee. It's going to pull your right heel in towards your glute. You're twisting at your upper thoracic spine, but you're also intensifying the hip opening. So it's a lot, y'all. Inhale, kick it, open it up. Exhale, rotate forward. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Soft release when you're ready. Right toes to the ground, left hand frames front foot. And then you heel toe your left foot all the way over. Ekapada Kapotasana. Your half pigeon. Your right leg is long and strong. There's a flex to your left foot, right? So it supports your left kneecap. Now your left shin can be all the way up to parallel with the top of your mat, or your heel can come in all the way towards your pelvis or anywhere in between. There's just no pain, no tension on your left knee. And then you breathe as you come down. Finding that space where you can release and let go, right? So as you move into half pigeon, a lot of times we start to kind of like brace for impact, right? Like tense up. Can you not, right? All right. When you're ready, start to slide your hands back so that you can lift your chest. Curl up your back knee. Curl up your back knee. Y'all, I can even talk today. Curl up your back toes. Lift your back knee. Float your left leg up and back. And then bend your left knee. Stack your hips. Circle it out. Find the movement that feels best to you. Remember, your head is hanging down. Mine is not, but yours should be. And then let your left foot come to the ground. Soften your knees down to the ground. And find a seated position. So sit down on your bottom. Extend your legs forward. So let's set up for Paschimottanasana. So your seated forward fold. Extend your legs. There's an internal rotation of your thigh bones so that you're decompressing your lumbar spine. You can have a really deep bend to your knees here, okay? So I want you to kind of roll towards the front of your sits bones, which means you might have to move the flesh out of the way, right? And then inhale, reach your arms out and up. And on the exhale, hinge at your hips rather than your waist so that you come forward and bring your hands towards your feet. I don't care if they actually touch. I'm short, so it's not as long of a distance for me. But your hands can find your feet if they do. And then I like to inhale, lengthen my spine, roll my shoulder blades back and down. And then I exhale, go deeper, bend my elbows, take my ribs to my thighs. And at some point, my legs do straighten out. I'm trying to remove the rounding through my back and go more like long, strong, flat spine. But, you know, again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just honest. So on the inhale, you lengthen. And exhale, pull it through. And then slowly come back up. And then, you know what? Making a plan here. Let's do this. I'm going to have us end on a supported back bend. So a supported fish pose, a heart opener. So if you don't have blocks or anything that can be used as blocks, feel free to just go into a traditional bridge or wheel or really anything that bridges your spine and opens up your chest, right? If you have blocks, you're going to set them up and you're going to feel this out for yourself, honestly, because some people like the bottom block to be horizontal. Some people like for it to be vertical. And then you're also going to decide, I would always start off with level 1 because that's going to be the least intense opening. And then you can always move up to level 2 or level 3. Like if you already know your back is super open, you might go to level 3. And then you're going to kind of just play around with this. You want the base of your block to come down to like your second to last floating rib. I'm going to go up a little. I'm going to go to level 2. Who knew, y'all? Heart feeling open. That's a new one. Maybe you take Supta Baddha Konasana, your supine butterfly legs, but you let your chest just melt. So like the backside of your heart space is just going to melt over the bottom block. And then you can let your arms come down, palms face up. Your hands could also like rest on your belly or whatever, right? Some people don't use the block behind the skull because they feel fine with the head just hanging down. Again, I can't do that right now anyway because of my nose. But even on like a really good day, I don't love it. So it sometimes makes me dizzy. Um, so kind of feel it out for yourself, which is, as you can see, the idea behind this entire practice is finding a way to practice that resonates and speaks to you, right? I don't care how many classes you go to, teachers you practice under, you know you the best. We know some things, but we don't know everything. And while we are guiding you in a way to keep you safe, physically, subtle energy, energetically wise, all that stuff, if something we say doesn't resonate, or you try something that we offer and you're like, dang, it's just not for me, I always invite the inquiry of asking why, instead of going into judgment on your mat, off your mat, instead of automatically judging yourself or someone else for what they're doing, be curious. Wonder why. Like, I wonder why. And so sometimes whenever my back is tight or whatever, instead of being like, oh, it's just because I have a tight spine or my whatever, sometimes I say, I wonder why. I wonder. And half the time the answer is because you don't do anything for it not to be, right? But sometimes the answer is because that's where the pain resides, right? And so you gotta just move and breathe through those spaces slowly. Now, you're more than welcome to stay right there for the entirety of Shavasana if that feels right to you. If you are going to remove the blocks out from underneath you, I bring my forearms and my elbows down first, and I would close my knees also if you have your butterfly legs, so that I can lift my upper back, slide the blocks out from underneath me. Then you're going to roll down slowly so that your spine finds itself back down on the mat in its entirety. If you need an additional twist to cleanse out that heart opener, you're more than welcome to take it. If you need legs up the wall or anything like that, also 100% available, right? So kind of move out of that space, cleanse your palate the way that suits you most. And then when you're ready, you'll hug your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shin. You can take a deep inhale. If it feels good to you, to exhale, round your forehead up towards your knees so you get that last bit of cervical spine rounding, as well as a counter to what we were just doing with our supported fish pose. And then take your time. And eventually you're going to land in Shavasana, extending your legs forward if that feels good. Let your feet hang comfortably open. Arms down by the side, body with your palms facing up. And I'm going to leave you in your Shavasana today for as long as you want to be there. So typically I end Shavasana for you, but I know some of you are probably still in your supported fish or in all of these things. I want you to feel the liberty, the agency to lay there as long as you can, right? So if you have 10 minutes right now, I want you to stay for 10 minutes and not be interrupted by my voice, by closing class, by whatever. If you only have 2 or 3 minutes, whatever it is that you can do for you right now, that is my invitation. That is my wish for you, is to lie here reveling in this space of doing nothing, doing absolutely nothing. You're floating. The top side of the body is light, it's weightless, while the bottom side is grounded, it's rooted, it's heavy. And you just exist in this moment that can be as long as you need it to be before the next thing, right? So it's my honor, my pleasure, as always, to be with you whenever it is that you take this practice, right? And peace be with each and every one of you. I will see you next Friday. And namaste.